Hey guys, it's Katie at scrappingkatie.ctmh.com, and I'm going to share a one-page layout using the Best Friends Forever Special from Close to My Heart. It's only good until December 31st, 2019. Head on over to my website and grab some of this adorable paper. So I have these two photos of my dog. The hairy version is what he looked like before he got groomed. And so I want to document that because it was such a transformation. So I'm going to just pull out a few of my favorite B&T patterns from this line and go ahead and this one that has all the houses, the dog bones, stuff like that. And then I knew that I wanted that B&T to be on the left. I knew I wanted my photos to kind of be catty corner in the center of the layout. And then I also knew I wanted to stamp these little bitty paw prints, random stamp those on a piece of white daisy cardstock that was also going to kind of be that edge to that B&T. So I'm just pulling out my black exclusive ink from Close to My Heart and just random stamping those paw prints. The majority of this will be covered up by the photos, but I still want to just stamp the entire thing. And I'm just random stamping, just kind of rotating that stamp so you kind of get a variation of the paw prints and it doesn't look so uniform. And so I'm going to adhere that onto that yellow with just a tiny, probably 1/8 of an inch border. And then I quickly realized that I didn't want so much of that B&T, so I wanted more blue to show. So I'm just trimming down these pieces accordingly and going to go ahead and adhere those down to that. It's a bluebird cardstock, and that's my base. And so I adhered that down, and then I'm going to trim down these photos. They are odd sizes. This one of him cut after the groomer, I am cutting that down to 4x4. And so I'm going to pull out this sticker sheet. I love these stickers. They're so cute. And so in order to play with placement, I like to take them off the carrier sheet and then stick them on wax paper. And that way they stick, they can be easily removed, but I get to play with placement without actually sticking them down until I'm sure how I want them. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find a mat for these photos. Right here, I'm thinking that I want the candy apple to be the photo mats. And I'm going to leave that for a little while, but then I'm going to quickly change that. And then I'm going to pull out the stamp set again and see what else I can use. Here's where I have an aha moment and I decide to unstick that random stamp paw print and actually put it on candy apple cardstock and trim that down. I do get it a little bit crooked, so I kind of have to do some trimming here. And you know, it's kind of hard to trim little bitty small pieces. And then I'm going to pull out some of that lemonade B&T, and that's what I'm going to use as photo mats for the puppy pictures. So I'm going to adhere that down and then get these taped to the photo mat so then I can further play with placement. So we took him to the groomer. He is a poodle, but we wanted to keep him long-haired. And the groomer just had other ideas. My husband was mad. I think he's so cute. He just looks totally different. And so it's just kind of, I don't know, weird. So here, Close to My Heart's cardstock has a white base. And so I used to sand everything and I kind of got away from that, but I really wanted to do that because that blue was just kind of standing out too much. So I just sanded it and then I use a lint roller to pick up all that extra sand dust, I guess you would call it. It's easy to clean up that way. So right here, I'm just trying to decide what else I want to use. I love the clouds, even though he's not outside in any of these pictures. I just think I just love the shapes. I just love them. So I'm going to play around with that for a little bit and then come back to the stamp set. The stamp set has 2 sentiments that were perfect for this photo of my dog after the grooming. And so this first one that I'm doing in this word bubble says for real, and it has a question mark. Because if you look at his face, he literally is looking at me like, what did you do to me? And then there's just so much space on that word bubble. So there's a little bitty puppy image. So I stamped that with toffee ink. And then there's another sentiment that says stay positive, PAW. And I'm going to also ink that up and put it by the picture later. So I'm pretty confident in photo placement here. Again, I have pulled out my adhesive backed foam sheets that you can get Walmart, Hobby Lobby, anywhere, because the majority of that photo, it would take a lot of 3D foam tape to adhere that photo. So I like to use those foam sheets. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere down my title, which says WOOF. And then the little pennants that I add later, those say, now here's something to woof about. And of course, it's perfect for these photos, because it literally just was, when we picked up the kids and they saw the dog, it was horrible. I mean, of course, he's adorable and they loved him, but it was quite the ordeal in my house, let me tell you. So this little word bubble, again, that's the one that says for real. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to find a place for this cloud. I really wanted it underneath that W, but I adhered that too close to the photo. So I'm going to have to pull out my sticker sheet and try again. And I can't remember if, yes, this is where I pull out the blue one. And so I'm going to try to find a place for the blue cloud. I don't think it makes the cut though. And then I realized that I have no red. So for the cats, there's a saying that says meow. And so I took that M and just did it upside down for the wolf. So now I have red over there. And you'll see there's going to be somewhat visual triangle here in a second. So this sentiment says stay positive, like I said, and then I'm just going to stamp a little red solid heart over to the right. And then I'm going to cut a dovetail, and that's going to go down at the bottom right of my little puppy and his sad face. So I love that these sentiments, again, were perfect for documenting this event in my house. And these are just getting taped directly to the photos. I'm using the 3M, my mind just went blank. But, you know, so it's acid-free, lignin-free adhesive. So I'm not opposed to gluing those on my photos. So here I pull out the fire hydrant again to kind of create the red visual triangle. So I've got the red underneath the random stamp pause, then the fire hydrant, then that W. And here I'm going to try to add a dog house right by that fire hydrant. So I pulled out my thin cuts. The circle just kind of got lost. So I'm going to end up fussy cutting one of the houses out and then coloring it with my tri-blend markers. So I just finished fussy cutting out that house, and now I'm going to color it with my tri-blend markers. This is the green one. I forgot the name, but I'll link it below. And I'm just going to use 3D foam adhesive for the back of that to kind of add some dimension. And then I realized I kind of want it to pop. So I'm going to pull my gray tri-blend marker and add some shading on the inside of the house. I debated whether to do this since none of the other dog houses have it, but I really wanted it to stand out and kind of pop off the page. So now I'm going to add journaling lines using my T ruler and my journaling pen. And sometimes I don't like for my journaling lines to show, so I use a pencil, but here I kind of wanted them to. I kind of like that look. So here's where we're at, and then I quickly realized that I just need something. So I grabbed my red shimmer pen, and I'm just adding some shimmer to that fire hydrant as well as that little heart in the stay positive sentiment. So much for stopping by, and don't forget to buy this line before December 31st, 2019, or while supplies last.